If you're a growth investor, you've got a problem right now. Now, it's a good problem to have, for sure, but it is a dangerous one. And that problem is Palantir Technologies. The stock has gone completely parabolic, and it presents this massive, massive dilemma for anyone holding it. This is the kind of thing that keeps me awake at night. My name's Joe, and I run a family office portfolio. The whole goal is to turn 75,000 pounds into $1 million. Now, to do that, you absolutely need a big winners. And Palantir, well, it's a winner. But this right here, this is my personal stake. 66 shares, worth over 8,000 pounds in my tax-free account. And the number one rule of the family office is simple: don't lose money. Okay, let's dive into the terrifying part, shall we? Take a look at this valuation. The price-to-earnings ratio isn't just high, it's in the hundreds. Its price to sales is higher than NVIDIA's was at the absolute peak of the AI hype. You have to understand, this is a stock that is priced for nothing less than absolute, undisputed global perfection. And this is where the civil war starts inside your own head. Every rational bone in my body, my logical, value-investing brain is just screaming at me, sell, take the profit, run for the hills. But then my growth brain whispers in my other ear, hang on, this is the next Microsoft. If you sell now, you're going to regret this for the next 20 years. So today, that's it. We are settling this. We're doing a full-blown thesis check to figure out what to do. Do we sell? Do we hold on for dear life? Or do we get crazy and actually buy more? Go grab a coffee. Let's look at the actual facts. All right, to understand why this stock is so ridiculously expensive, we have to start with the bull case. You have to get what it is they actually sell. You have to understand their moat. See, most people think Palantir is just data analytics. If that were true, the stock would be worth maybe $10. Tops. What Palantir sells is something called an ontology. Now, don't let the buzzword throw you. The key idea here is that an ontology isn't some dashboard. It is a living, breathing digital twin of an entire organization. It doesn't just see random data points. It understands the relationships between all the objects. And this visual explains it perfectly. Think about a car factory. Your normal software, it sees a spreadsheet, right? Row 4, column B, tire supply equals 0. It's just a number. It has no context. Palantir, on the other hand, sees the object. It knows that this tire is connected to a wheel, which is connected to a car, which is tied to a specific customer, order number 505. It gets the whole operational web. And that, my friends, is the moat. Building this digital twin can take years. So when a massive company like Airbus or an organization like the US Army installs Palantir, they aren't just downloading an app. They are literally rewiring the DNA of how their organization thinks. And once you've built that ontology, you can't just rip it out. It becomes the company's brain. So the ontology, that's the foundation, the bedrock, but that's not why the stock tripled. No, it went absolutely nuclear because of this. AIP, the artificial intelligence platform. This was the real catalyst that just poured gasoline on the fire. And this is where the genius of their strategy comes in. See, historically, Palantir was incredibly difficult to sell. We're talking 6 months to install, millions of dollars, and teams of elite engineers flying out to your office. Then, large language models happen. And Palantir had this light bulb moment. They could use AI to let normal, non-technical people talk directly to that super complex ontology. A CEO can now just type, in plain English, how will a hurricane in Florida affect our supply chain? And boom, get an instant answer. This completely unlocked a revolutionary new sales strategy, the bootcamp. Palantir just threw out the old painful sales playbook. Now they get a potential customer in a room for just 10 hours. And here's the kicker. They use the customer's actual data. By the end of a single day, they deliver a working product that solves a real-world problem for that company. The conversion rate on these things is, well, insane. And the result of all this? Explosive growth, right where it counts. The U.S. commercial revenue, the part of the business that was lagging for years, is now growing at 40%, 50%, and even over 60%. This is the reason I'm holding on to these shares. I truly believe we're just in the first inning of this AI adoption story. Okay, deep breath. That was the bull case. And it sounds perfect, doesn't it? Almost too perfect. So if it's all so great, why am I still terrified? Because price matters. And now we have to look at the numbers that should make every single investor take a long, hard pause. So, to get an objective opinion, I fed all the current metrics into an AI agent I call Mary Jane. She's my portfolio's chief risk officer. I asked her, forget the story, forget the technology, just look at these valuation multiples compared to historical bubbles like Cisco back in 2000. What's the probability of a crash? And she came back with a warning that should honestly scare every single shareholder. She flagged what's known as the priced for perfection trap. What this means is the current stock price isn't just betting on future success, it's betting on a decade of flawless, uninterrupted hypergrowth. It implies that Palantir is going to grow at over 30% a year, every single year, without one single mistake. Let's just dig into the math for a second. This is from a reverse discounted cash flow analysis. And what it shows is that for today's stock price to be even remotely fair value, Palantir needs to eventually generate more annual profit than a titan like NVIDIA does today. Think about that. It assumes a decade of absolute flawless execution. Any slip-up, a recession, a new competitor, and this valuation could completely collapse. So that brings us right here to the final decision. We've got this incredible, super sticky technology on one side and a terrifying bubble-like valuation on the other. It's time to bring these two cases together and make a rational choice, based on a system, not just on emotion. Now, with any investment checkup we do in the family office, it always boils down to 3 clear paths forward. Option 1, sell. Take that profit off the table, sleep easy at night. Option 2, hold. Trust that the amazing technology will eventually grow into this monster valuation. And option 3, buy. Double down and bet that we really are still in the early days. So here's the verdict. The most important takeaway today isn't a simple buy or sell call. It's about implementing a process. For a stock this volatile, this polarized, you absolutely must have a structured thesis check to separate the powerful reality of the tech from the dangerous hype of the stock price. For me, the thesis is still in fact, but that valuation demands caution. My decision is to hold, but not to add another single pound at these levels. And this really brings us to the final and most crucial question. And it's not really about Palantir, it's about you. When you have a stock that's up 200%, every instinct you have is telling you to either get greedy or get fearful. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What is your system? How do you protect your portfolio from your own emotions?